Think what you're eating is what matters most for your nerve health? Guess again, because what you're washing it down with plays a huge role in nerve recovery. So answer this question for me. What do neurotoxic chemicals, dangerous artificial sweeteners, dyes, and flame-retardant chemicals all have in common? Well, they can all be found in some of the most popular beverages on the market, some of which you may be drinking at this very moment. So in today's video, I'm going to make you aware of the most toxic beverages that can cause more damage to your peripheral nerves and wreak havoc on your overall health. Don't go anywhere, it's going to be good. Hello Health Explorer, this is Dr. Coppola, the Nerve Doctor. If you've been told neuropathy is permanent, I'm here to help you achieve new levels of health you've never dreamed possible. So if you're new to my channel, click on the subscribe button for up-to-date and accurate information on peripheral neuropathy and what you can do to overcome it. Also, don't forget to click on the bell so that you get notified when I publish new content. Okay, let's get started. Number one on our list, soda. Obviously, it's no big surprise that soda is one of the absolute worst beverages you can drink. Its health-destroying properties go far beyond nerve damage. Let's do a recap on why this beverage will destroy nerves and your overall health. First, let's look at regular sodas. It's packed with loads of sugar, most of which contain high fructose corn syrup, which drastically elevates systemic inflammation in the body and sets peripheral nerves on fire. And it increases production of AGEs, otherwise known as advanced glycated end products. Dr. Montero talks about this in our video, Squelching Inflammation. Another fact about consuming high fructose corn syrup is that it can lead to insulin resistance, and it has been linked to increasing the risk of developing diabetes, heart disease, liver disease, high cholesterol, and also obesity. Did you know that most of your colored sodas like colas and orange sodas contain artificial colorants and dyes which are both carcinogenic and neurotoxic? Believe it or not, there are still soft drink companies that use brominated vegetable oils in sodas and fruit drinks. This is a chemical that's a flame retardant and is used to maintain flavoring. It's been banned in Europe and Japan, but it's still allowed in the US. Clinical studies have shown that this chemical does extensive damage to the nervous system. Next, let's talk about diet sodas. Although they don't contain any sugar, they're loaded with neurotoxic artificial sweeteners. The most common one is aspartame, which is used in most diet beverages and goes by the brand name of Equal or NutraSweet. This artificial sweetener is extremely damaging to peripheral nerves and the brain neurons. The reality is that aspartame has a long list of adverse effects. But did you know that it can trigger or worsen the symptoms of many disorders like diabetes, fibromyalgia, Alzheimer, and even multiple sclerosis? Well, enough said. Let's move on to number two, fruit juice. Most people automatically assume that fruit juices are healthy drinks, and they can be when cold pressed extracted from an actual fruit and consumed in small amounts. However, the majority of fruit juices, including the ones labeled 100% pure juice, may give you the impression that they're made purely from the juice of natural fruits, when often that's not the case. For example, no matter what time of year it is, you can walk into any grocery store and find orange juice or apple juice on the shelves, even though these fruits aren't in season. So how is it that there's always an abundance of these juices on the shelves? Well, juice companies make large batches of these juices and store them year-round in sterile tanks and remove all the oxygen so that the juice doesn't spoil. However, once the oxygen is removed, the juice will lose its natural flavor and its scent. As a result, juice companies will use flavor packets to add flavor and the scent back into the juice. These flavor packets aren't natural food products. They're typically formulated by flavor and fragrance companies. Is this starting to sound more like a perfume manufacturer to anybody? Now, along with artificial flavors and scents, additional sugar, preservatives, and coloring agents are often added into the juice. This helps ensure a very long storage life The most common preservative used is sodium benzoate. Now, this preservative is both a neurotoxic and carcinogenic. Dr. Donald Hensrud, medical director of the Mayo Clinic Healthy Living Program, says, and I quote, "I put highly processed fruit juice in the same category as sugary sweetened beverages." And frankly, I agree with him. Dr. Hensrud also adds, even though something contains 100% pure fruit juice, it may be highly processed and refined. So what ends up in the glass is not what came from the fruit itself. For example, apple juice is so highly processed that it's basically sugar water without a lot of nutrients. Okay, moving on to number 3, powdered drink mixes. Now, powdered drink mixes are typically loaded with artificial sweeteners such as acesulfame, aspartame, and sucralose. Acesulfame has been linked to cancer, and recent research published in the Journal of Toxicology and Environmental Health indicates that sucralose may reduce beneficial gut bacteria, inhibit the absorption of medication, and release potentially toxic compounds in the body, even alter the body's response to insulin, and potentially alter our genes. On top of all this, these drink mixes often contain food dyes, which are known carcinogens. Well, enough said. Let's move on to number 4, flavored waters. So I often hear from my patients, I hate the taste of water, but I love this new bottled water that tastes like raspberries or strawberries. Unfortunately, these flavor-enhanced bottled waters are typically loaded with chemicals. Even if you see the term natural flavors in the ingredients, this needs to be regarded with high suspicion. The FDA defines natural flavor as any product whose significant function in food is flavoring rather than nutritional. Wow. This is a very loose definition, and trust me when I tell you that the food and beverage industry takes full advantage of this latitude to completely misrepresent and hide chemicals, preservatives, emulsifiers, and solvents added to beverages, and food as well. Now, realistically, natural flavors on the beverage label is quite similar to artificial flavors, and worse yet, the beverage company isn't required to disclose anything that's being placed under the natural flavor umbrella. So instead of wasting your money on expensive flavored bottled water, make your own. It's fast, simple, and delicious. Grab a pitcher, fill it with filtered water. Remember, never use tap water. Put your favorite fruits in the water like berries, lemons, limes, orange slices, or even cucumber slices. Let it sit overnight, and bam, you have your own delicious flavored water. Now that's how it's done right. Okay, let's look at number 5, energy drinks. These drinks are notorious for containing tons of artificial colors and flavors. Worse yet, they are sugar bombs containing up to 56 grams of sugar or more. And it's usually derived from high fructose corn syrup. Of course, they all contain caffeine ranging from 160 milligrams up to 300 milligrams per drink. Now, if you consider that people who drink energy drinks usually drink coffee during the day as well, that can skyrocket the amount of caffeine intake far above 400 milligrams daily, which is considered to be the upper limit for safe caffeine consumption. Now, it may surprise you to know that many of these energy drinks are owned by the Pepsi Corporation, Coca-Cola, and even pharmaceutical companies like GlaxoSmithKline. All right, let's move on to number 6, liquid coffee creamer. Now, although this is technically not a beverage, I added it to the list because we're a nation of coffee drinkers. While creamers may seem like an innocent addition to coffee, you may want to take a closer look at what these creamers are made of. Coffee creamers are mostly made out of toxic chemicals like carrageenan, which has been linked to raising inflammation and causing digestive problems. Coffee creamers also contain hydrogenated oils, harmful preservatives, artificial syrups, and sweeteners. Now, since these creamers don't contain any vitamins, minerals, or antioxidants, there's no nutritional value to drinking it. Now, you might be asking, so what's the difference between a coffee creamer and half and half? Now, the main difference is that half and half is made up of equal parts of heavy whipping cream and milk. Now, as long as you're not lactose intolerant, this is by far a better choice, especially if you purchase it organic. Okay, last on our list, number 7 is coffee. Now, coffee is a double-edged sword because there's no disputing that coffee does have some health benefits. However, when overconsumed or consuming non-organic coffee or adding toxic ingredients to your coffee, such as, the coffee creamers we talked about, it can pose a significant risk to our health. Under these circumstances, coffee can pose the following risks to peripheral neuropathy sufferers. First, caffeine can irritate peripheral nerves and make neuropathy symptoms worse. Secondly, coffee is highly acidic, which raises inflammation within the body and can contribute to nerve degeneration. Thirdly, coffee crops are sprayed with an enormous amount of pesticides. So when you're drinking coffee, you're getting more than just a cup of Java. You're also drinking a bunch of chemicals like organophosphates, pyrethroids, and carbamates. Now, these chemicals are neurotoxins, which when consumed regularly, like drinking conventional coffee on a daily basis, over a prolonged period of time, they can accumulate and damage our nerves. Now, you might be saying, hey doc, I am not going to give up my coffee, so just tell me what I need to do to protect my nerves. Well, don't worry, I recorded an entire video on this topic. Make sure you watch my next video, Coffee, Healthy or Just Hype, where I'll cover what benefits you get from coffee and how you can minimize the harmful effects on your nerves. So that's it for now, Health Explorers. If you're enjoying our videos, the best way you can support us is by liking our video and sharing it with others. Until next time, my friends, I look forward to seeing you on the road to great nerve health. Think what you're eating is what matters most for your nerve health? Guess again, because what you're washing it down with plays a goes by the brand name of Equal or NutraSweet. NutraSweet.
NutraSweet.